Celebrate, 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 celebrate. New England Patriots clam chowder. Oh, so after much wrangling today, all the distractions on the Facebook, go away now, go away. Just because there are, people that disagree that we need a wall. We need a wall, build a wall. And so I've been trying to use this drum since the worship in church that had the issue about me using a little shaker, not even a drum. So I feel like it has provoked something in me to where I'm gonna have to beat my drum at home. New England Patriots, flame chowders. We're going to the Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. Ironically, the first win that we ever had, it was against the Rams, if you remember, Super Bowl 36, and Kurt Warner, and it was a dome game. So this is an eerie resemblance of that, well, except for now I have no loyalty to LA because LA is really screwed up by these political dams that is ruining our country. But New England Patriots, at first I was, oh man, I couldn't believe, like, the first half. Oh, we're just cruising, yeah, da la la. Texting on the phone. Oh, sure, we scored 2 touchdowns, 14-0, and we're holding the Mahomes to like incompletion and sacks and so forth, so forth. But little did you know, when it was very noisy, and they were doing this tomahawk, da la la. It's a game. What I'm trying to say is reminding me. I have to veer off for a bit because I just remember that this Twitter video gone viral due to some Catholic school boys that were in the pro-life march, the March for Life. That means that every human being really deserved a chance, even though they were shown the womb. And those are the people that they cannot fight for themselves. That's why they have the pro-life march and Catholic school boys. So now they're being harassed because there were other marches. There were actually, the people that were always marching for something. And the story was, I saw the whole video, so don't give me the bullshit. The liberal mafia, I don't want to use the word liberal because it's really not a bad thing to be a liberal, meaning, in like the hippie days, or what do you so-called, the Reagan Democrats, they were really more right on because they're for freedom of speech, but nowadays it is not so. And I heard this before, which I believe is true, that the Democratic Party has been hijacked by the extreme left-wing socialist communists. And that is true because they only take a portion of that little video, whom the Catholic boy, so they were just like pro-life marching, and they were being hassled by a lot of these Black Lives Matter people. If you've seen another video, somebody took them, kids have phones and all that stuff. So they were being harassed, right in front of the Lincoln statue. Some other guy came beat on drums just because the video showed, because he's like a native Indian or older guys or something like that, because they heard build that wall, they heard that chant. So he came to heckle these Catholic boys by beating drums like this. So he's a heckler. Hecklers in the comedy shows that, you take them out. You just tell them to get out. But what happens is, I guess the Catholic school boys, they were polite. So they're just like, they were almost going to back out of their place. What I'm saying is they were already there. They were going to back out of the square because this guy was marching like this. So no race issue, anything ahead. I mean, when you see something from the lying mafia media, they always say, oh, it's a racist thing. Nothing like that. The setup was this whoever was playing drums was trying to disrupt the Catholic school boys have a peaceful march, and then they start about the March for Life. They want to save lives instead of using our tax dollars to fund so-called the Planned Parenthood. It's a baby murdering clinic. That's what it is. Because they pretend, oh, give out contraceptives or whatever. But you and I know, this is it's a wicked thing. When they actually sue the guy who did tapes or surreptitious tapes of these Planned Parenthood people, the folks that run the clinics that are selling babies' parts. And they were joking and bubbly. It was over a dinner table. I saw the video. And I cannot believe, I mean, these Planned Parenthood people, they should go to jail because they were talking about, oh, well, how much is for what parts, body parts, and, costs thousands of dollars for, like, the heart or the brain tissues and all that kind of stuff. And they say they even have methods to kill the children, because some babies are strong. They're almost born. They're big if you're past a certain period of time. I don't know. In the latter part of pregnancy, the baby is almost born, so they have to kill it. And by killing it, they just stick something to, a real, it's disgusting, a suction thing to break the baby's skull while it's in the womb. So imagine that. I mean, you're there like vagina open and someone stick a blood-sucking instrument to kill your baby. I mean, basically, in our minds, we try to justify, say it's a woman's choice, but, you just have to say, okay, then it's your choice to kill an innocent person that could have the potential to be as tall and maybe even, smarter and have the potential to be better than you. Basically, they have no say. So, that you kill them. Anyways, so I'm saying all this set aside, these people, they have the right to have the pro-life march, and this guy's whacking drums. So everybody was leaving because they're kids. They were just like, oh, well, we better back out of this place. But that one kid didn't back up. So the old guy was beating drums right on his shoulder. If you see the other angle, he was like that. And he was not going to back out of his space. He didn't touch him. He just was not moving, so he was playing defense. It's like even in basketball, if you're in place, they cannot run you over. So basically, the kid endured, maybe even smelly too, I don't know, because that Indian guy was there for a different march, for the so-called Indian tribes or whatever. But because he hated Trump, so he built the wall, so he came and tried to ruin other people's march. Again, it's about freedom of speech. So why don't the Catholic boys have the freedom of speech and it has to be intimidated, we have to be run out? And they never report that. The mafia media never report that. Even in Charlottesville and all these agitators, that there are the Antifa people, that they were armed, they were sophisticated and bus-loaded by George Soros' money and the MoveOn.org. Just so they can wreak havoc. Okay, so they don't report that. They show you a little clip. So whenever you're taking something out of context, just imagine that it almost hijacked you. Everything. They hijack your mind. The mafia media. They are damned. They are damned. Yeah, so they make it an issue. Oh, this is an indigenous Indian, insulted him, and then CNN had the interview, grabbed the, because they always try to use their, pawns, their people as pawns. They interview that guy, the old veteran, like, oh, because you're Indian, you're a veteran, so that, of course, these are white guys, white kids, and they must be racist. Well, I don't see the interviews on the other side. So basically, they're not, the mafia media, they're not for the freedom of speech because they want to muffle the other side. And they just want to show one side. Whenever you take anything out of context, then you have committed a crime against the humanity that's on the other side of the fence because you're muzzling them. The word says, do not muzzle an ox while he treads the grain. So, don't you muzzle my people. With that said, are they going to be mad about Tom Brady because he's white? Oh, well, he's white, and therefore he's a supremacist, a racist. So basically, there is really no really a fair justice for people they're of white race, because you can humiliate them all you want, and you can call them names all you want, and they're dirty devils, and there's no recourse. That's just totally wrong. That to condemn and want to abolish the white people. All right, I'm not saying that they're all totally good. I mean, there's some white people that just ripped me off $1,000, and so, you know, definitely they're scumbags as well. But in this case, I truly believe that the mafia media so quick to jump on the race car thing, that's just wrong. Okay, because just before that, there were some other Trump fans that are holding signs for pro-Trump, and then some other white chick came and beat him up. Nobody reported that. So what does that tell you? White on white, they don't care, right? If it was the opposite, if it was somebody holding up Obama, a black guy, and then some white chick came and tried to swipe his sign, and in the process, I sort of bull rushed him. Oh, you never hear the end of that. You'll be sued like, 100,000 times, right? By every NAACP. And I'm not the NAACP, what is that called? Well, you know what I mean, the National for Colored People. You'll be sued so many times, so it's disgusting. Okay, I'm not an expert on the terms. Anyways, I know it's for the advancement of the colored people, and somehow they have a gripe against the whole human race, and, you have to pay them millions of dollars to Jesse Jackson. That's basically it. And, all their moron representatives that get all this money and who does nothing for their people. Really, seriously. They just greedy hogs that hoarded all the money, which they blackmail all these big corporations. I mean, just like Airbnb, they blackmailed them by saying that Airbnb was not helping them for getting some kind of part-time rentals, because they said, well, black people cannot get accommodations when they look Airbnb. Somehow they're being discriminated against. I mean, everything about discrimination, I mean, I can play that card easily. I felt the pain. I've been discriminated before. Ironically, my point, my problem, or not my problem, my encounter is with folks that I think that I'm pretty much on their side. Not on their side per se, but we're on the right side just because they judge me since I'm Asian. I'm talking about places like rural area, somewhere in Colorado. I've been persecuted by white people. But again, it does not categorize, that all white people are sinful in their races. Just, like I said, I ran into some of them. So you just have to brush it off. And, to be condemned here as far as right now, where in this society, the environment is so anti-white folks, I just think it's wrong because they're anti-Trump, because he's a Nazi. I mean, this is ridiculous, right? Okay, so why was that getting into this? I'm talking about football. Yeah. I don't know. I was so excited because Julian Edelman muffed it. And I just go, don't panic, right? For sure, Tom Brady threw it to him the next time, and what? He almost muffed it again. It slipped right through his fingertips, landed right into Casey Sunshine Band's hands. So then I just go, oh my God, they're going to cut him. No. Tom Brady had faith and confidence. I had faith, and I pleaded to the Most High God. By the way, my friend told me to fast and pray for, certain things in a period of time. So I really had no solid food the whole day, and now I'm kind of dizzy, but I'm on my knees praying for the next play. So don't take me out of the equation until the very last play. When I say the very last play, well, there's just so many plays that that could have ruined us. And the thing with Julian Edelman, that muffed punt could have ruined us. I was on my face. I was like going, God, please overturn it, because he said he didn't touch the ball. Because, you know, if the ruling on the field was that it was the muff punt and the Casey has the possession and they ran into the end zone, that would have been a nightmare. So I was on my face. I would say, Lord, 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 made him reverse it, because it's clearly shown, thank God for the angles, that he didn't touch it. Julian didn't touch it. So that was one big miracle. I was very unhappy with the call against Jackson, you know, because I guess, I don't know if Jackson is going to come back. The secondary, he kind of blew it. But you have to think that he's a smaller guy. I don't know why Belichick to pair him, when I say pair him, that his job is to guard Kelsey. So I think that was a man-to-man play in which we get picked apart by Andy Reid. You know, because you look at the Jackson guy, I mean, sure, he has heart and everything, but Kelsey is a big dude. So how can you guard against Kelsey? Now, you know, with the little Bugs Bunny, Jackson. I don't mean to insult the guy, but that's what happened. He got called like 3 huge penalties. I sincerely don't think he's coming back to the New England next year. I still sorely miss my Malcolm Butler. So, what can you do? It's a, you know, free agency day and age. But that position, particular with Jackson, is, I'm warning you right now. Don't say that I didn't say it. I mean, I know we're celebrating, we're all happy and everything. But Coach Bill, you need to either, let's just say, call on somebody else, which I don't know who else we have to play that position. I do have a list, thanks to my friend Christopher Davis. So besides Jackson, there's Sheldon. There's my list. It's all pretty much very ruined right now because I have spit and, you know, sweat and blood and tears. He printed for me, so thank you, Christopher. And now it's all, yeah, it's all used, which is good because I used it. This chart, depth chart. So I go over the chart and I know, like, you know, these are the people, and then I put hands on them. I say, oh, do well, or we'll cut you. So Sheldon or Clybourne, or who's this Christian Sam, Brandon King, Eric Rowe. What happened? I guess maybe he's out. Jonathan Jones. So what I'm trying to say is, you'll have to have somebody who's bigger than Jackson, okay, and fast. That's all in that position against the Rams, because or will be very exploited, because that guy is very smart. McVay is very smart. So with that said, I would be happy. I did say heads when it comes to OT. That's all. That's all I have to say. And a few times we were like 3rd and 10. I was like, oh God, please give us the first down. Show a lot of heart. Gronkowski and Julian Edelman did not drop one catch after that interception, and you know that's gonna go against Tom Brady. Of course, his fingertip caught it. So I don't know. Sometimes, you know, you get the little crazy fingers. You just have to like cast them out. 2 weeks. We'll be in Atlanta. Don't know what Georgia is like, but Georgia will have the ball. We don't want to have the blues. We have another Remy. And this time we have Steven Gostkowski instead of Adam Vinatieri. I pray to God it does not come down to that, to the 1 field goal.